You got me where you want me at. Hey guys, thank you for joining me for another exciting episode of Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. Of course, I am your host, Justin Wise, lead analyst and senior mentor at Cracking Cryptocurrency. Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic wherever you happen to be tuning in from, whether you're watching from YouTube, Twitch, DLive, or Facebook Live. We appreciate the views, guys. Thank you so much. And if this is your first time here, make sure to show us some love. If you are a returning viewer as well, make sure to show us some love as well, whether by hitting the like, subscribe, follow, or share us around, even to people you don't like. It's all good. People need to hear this information. Of course, today is June 3rd, 2019, foul year of our Lord, and a foul slightly day indeed, especially for the longs. But let's move right on to the markets. Obviously, Bitcoin having quite a significant pullback yesterday. To what level? What level did we find support at? The daily baseline. Yes, as we all know, coming right down to the daily baseline. Get your daily baseline buys here. So congratulations to the individuals that were able to catch that. We're going to see over the next few days how price evolves, but we'll go and take a look at what the markets are looking at right now. As a regular staple of the show, we're also going to be looking at traditional markets and Forex as well, because we now have the opportunity to do that. So good morning and afternoon, and a slight announcement, I would say. Let's see. Dubitot says, any chance of some Cannibal Corpse for the background music? Although that would be okay. I do prefer 6 Feet Under myself. Turd Ferguson, good morning to you. Donnie Don Matthews, what's going on, brother? Storage? Of course, man. We will look at storage. Let me write down storage so I do not forget. And Turd Ferguson says, rough day for Wall Street today. Moving averages pointing straight down. And Bitcoin going down after a weekly 9 TD sequential. We'll check that out. Sounds like people score. Crypto Kitty, Wendy Brown Eye, Stephen Hyatt, Fox Trader, good to see you, my good brother. All right, guys. So one brief announcement, okay? So we recently sent out some Cracking Cryptocurrency merch, okay? And I do not have the Discord ID of 2 individuals, okay? So I don't know how to DM you to let you know how to get your shipment, because you're an international customer and your parcel is at customs. You guys need to contact the carrier. I have that information and the carrier ID number that you need to claim your merchandise. Your package is sitting at customs. So, but unfortunately, due to the fact that I get so many DMs, I've somehow lost you guys in my DM feed. So, Mr. Richard Humphrey, all right, from the UK, if you would please contact me via email or through Discord, I can make sure that you get your t-shirt. And also, Mr. Bob Miner from Canada, if you please contact me in Discord, I will make sure, or by email, I'll make sure that you get your parcel as well. All right, guys, I want to make sure you guys get everything taken care of. I've already given the information to the 2 other individuals who we sent t-shirts out who were also international, but I was able to find their Discord usernames. All right, so thank you guys so much for that brief pause. And without further ado, let's get right into the charts. All right, so we're going to start off as we do with Bitcoin. Let's go ahead and quickly add storage there to the schedule. Storage, BTC, store Jihan, BTC. And let's go over here and start with BTC USD as we do. We're going to go ahead and hide our lines, and we'll bring those back in just a minute and see if any of our blocks were what held our interesting area, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. But let's look at base strategy right now. Obviously, again, starting off in June, for those of you who might have taken a pause for a few days, we are utilizing Minx as our primary indicator and no longer time transformation, actually doing a redo on time transformation as well as modifying it to construe to PTP strategy to make it easier to read for individuals utilizing these structures in the groups. So I'm going to be pushing that update probably in the next week or so, publishing that indicator as well for those who wish to use Defiance, which is what it will be called now, which is the modified version of time transformation for the purposes of PTP strategy. Nothing is really different insofar as its logic. It'll just be easier to read. There'll be a little rewriting of the plot shapes that will indicate different things, et cetera, et cetera. It'll just be a little bit more user-friendly. I've also, again, there is a slight user code update, not user code, but internal logic update, where I actually increased its percent profitability by 13%. And that was done through a modification of the underlying mathematics of how the actual signal and trigger lines were calculated. So constant experimentation, constant testing. When you trade with a methodical, strategic structure that incorporates entry and exit, as well as early exit, as well as profit targets, as well as your stop loss and your capital allocation, you have the time and the luxury to just work on refining your strategy and your edge, and that is what all professional traders do. They trade they trade a strict methodology. They trade a strategic structure, and all they do with the time that they don't spend in front of the computer is honing their results over and over again. Steve85 UK, thank you so much for the follow over there on Twitch, my good friend. All right, so after the daily candle closed yesterday, having a pullback, a $233 pullback so far, actually more from the actual open of yesterday's candle down to the bottom. Just do a little shift click, and actually we fell over $400, about $427, about $427 to $415 actually to the low of that candle, wicking briefly down below the daily baseline for just a moment, and then if you had your bid at the daily baseline, which we are allowed to do, that's the only way. There's only two ways that we're allowed to trade reversals in PTP strategy. One is having either limit orders in the direction that the trend is at the daily baseline, or going down to lower time frames and catching reversals within trend. Now, generally, the former is going to happen much more often than the latter, because for the majority of individuals utilizing PTP, they're only going to be trading the daily time frame. There are many benefits to doing that. There are many, many benefits to doing that. The primary one is time. You have your time back, and you have a much higher ability to own your trading and not let your trading own you. Other time frames that are attractive to trade as well to allow you that same luxury of time is the 12-hour and the 8-hour. 12-hour, you have to look at the chart twice a day. The 8-hour chart, you have to look at it 3 times a day. Now, those time frames offer a good amount of time luxury. The 4-hour chart is a little bit more active, and that is why the 4-hour chart is considered the most popular chart to trade for swing traders. Again, I find that you can get just as good results looking at higher time frames as well. Okay, so price pulling back down to the daily baseline after our continuation long signal yesterday, which has not been invalidated. We will look how the daily candle closes later on this evening and see if this trade has been invalidated so far. We do have a bearish signal from Wada Atar with rising volume. Again, not an indication to exit our position, but just an aspect that can be played into discretionary position sizing were we entering to a trade at this moment, which we don't actually have indication to exit our trade. There is a potential that we will be getting an early exit signal from Minx, depending on if the candle closes this way. Now, again, there are individuals that are going to be utilizing a different early exit system, but for those of you who are using the one coded into Minx, this would be an indication to exit your trade at a loss. Now, the nice thing about this, and this is exactly what I said last night in the Members Lounge, because I was up till about 2 a.m. working on some spreadsheet projects of mine, risk management calculation, and this obviously happened. Now, I am in a long position that I entered on the close of yesterday's candle, so that is a position that I'm currently in drawdown in. Now, one of the things that I want to make very clear is, does that make me uncomfortable? No, absolutely not, because drawdown is a natural part of the trading process. Winning and losing trades are a natural part of the trading process. In fact, a good portion of the positions that I put on last night are in drawdown. That doesn't mean a thing, because for the majority of the time that I'm trading, most of the positions that I'm in are in profit. So it's okay. It's totally natural. It's part of the natural cycle of trading to be in positions that are in drawdown or to just have a bad day. Sometimes you have a bad week. That's all a natural part of trading, and understanding and being able to cope psychologically with no discomfort and no distress when you do take a loss or even a series of losses, and having the risk management system in place to allow that to happen, which will happen no matter how good your edge is, no matter how good your strategy is really key to obtaining success in the market. Just as I said last night, do not panic. The only reason that you should be panicked is if you applied an improper position size in the first place and had your account exposed to too much risk anyways. If that is the case, then what you need to do is you need to go through your position sizes and calculate exactly how much capital you will lose if every single trade you own hits your stop loss, or if you panic sell right now. All right, that's what you need to do. Then you need to refer to what the total risk that is to your overall account balance, and then look to see if that is within your acceptable risk guidelines. If it is not, then you do need to take action. You do need to begin paring down your position sizes and taking short-term L's. There was another member that I was talking to this morning who had taken on an excessive position size in only one coin. So we were talking about what that means. He was asking me if it were me, would I take an L? And I said, absolutely. If I have to think about whether to do something for more than 5 seconds, you always want to do what is easy. easiest, okay? Just like if I'm looking for a trade, if I have to think about whether I need to enter or exit a trade within 5 seconds, if I don't have an answer, I just do it, right? Or excuse me, if I with an entry, if I have to think for more than 5 seconds about entering a trade, I do not. If I have to think for more than 5 seconds on whether I should exit a trade, regardless whether it's in loss or regardless whether it's in profit, I am out of that trade. The entire reason that I designed PTP the way that it is, and the reason that I trade the way that I do, is because subjectivity is the death knell for traders. The failure rate for traders is 90 to 99%. There are multiple reasons for this. One is the education or lack thereof of education, popular education. Again, most education is being sponsored by either exchanges, by brokers, by individuals who are not traders in the first place, and who generally are going to sell individuals or advise individuals on lackluster strategies that underperform the market, if not are total losing strategies in the first place. Okay, that's not what we do at Kraken Cryptocurrency. We are, again, every single person on the team of Kraken Cryptocurrency relies on trading. This is my full-time job, and just as I tell you guys every single day, the main aspects to being a professional trader are risk management. That is the most important thing, and it is the most overlooked aspect of most traders. Entry and exits are very important. It is very important to have a good strategic system. However, as I've said many times, and this is a standing challenge, you pick the best entry and exit signal known to man and poor risk management, and I will choose a worse entry and exit system. In fact, maybe even an underperforming one, but my version of risk management, and I will overperform you at the end of the year. I will have a better equity curve than you. I guarantee it. The reason why is because it is the dollars and cents that matter. And this is why, I mean, just think logically, okay? Put yourself, okay. Cryptocurrency traders on average generally don't have the largest amount of capital, right? The average cryptocurrency trader is going to have a smaller account than the average Forex trader. The average Forex trader is going to have a smaller account than the average traditional equity trader, okay? This is just the way that it works, okay? On average. Now, that doesn't mean, again, even in our group, we have large capital traders. Even in Forex, of course, you can have large capital traders. Even in, obviously, equity, you're going to have very, very large capital traders. But it's just a matter of scale, right? It's just a matter of scale because there's less people in the cryptocurrency markets as there are compared to the Forex markets, and less in the Forex markets than there are compared to the traditional equity market. And the same goes for market capitalization and volume and liquidity. So, you have to think about the way that professional hedge funds, professional traders who trade equity and who manage millions, if not billions of dollars worth of capital, how do they perform in the markets? Who are the highest paid analysts out there? Okay, quants are, quantitative analysts are. People who construct risk portfolios, people who construct risk profiles, people who look at position size management, where that speciality is theirs, statistics, odds. Those are generally the highest paid analysts in any field, right? Not individuals who say, well, if you look at this cup and handle and this Fibonacci pattern over there, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, those people don't really get paid that much unless they're a stock picker and they have their own prop shop, or they own their own fund, or they professionally trade their own money or others individuals' money like I do myself. So that should be the key of what is truly important. It is the risk management. It's how you apply your capital and manage that over time. You have to have rules. We have rules in Kraken Cryptocurrency. And that is probably the most attractive feature of what we do at Kraken Cryptocurrency, is the fact that the way that we trade is systematic, right? And just like an email answer this morning, one thing somebody asked me, like, hey man, like, can you tell me a little bit about your group? Like, is it really chaotic? Because I've been in a lot of groups and, one guy's talking about Fibonacci's and then the other guy doesn't reply about Fibonacci's, but talks about trend lines. And the third person posts and talks about RSI. And they're all just talking past each other with no sense of form or structure. No, you could ask anybody in the members lounge, anybody who's a member of a group. As I've said, just DM anybody. They're all there. Everybody's generally talking about the exact same thing. We approach the markets the same way. We're all looking at the same setups. We're all looking at the same structure. And so all the conversation, which the members lounge is very active, all the conversation that takes place is genuinely helpful conversation because everyone is on the same page because we trade a certain way. There is a system, a method, and it's a method in how we enter. It's a method in how we exit. It's a method in how we position size. It's a method in how we take risk. It's a method in what time we trade. It's a method in what time frame we trade. It's a method in how we approach the market psychologically. All this takes a place. All this needs to be part of any good trading structure. And again, whether you're a member or whether you're your own trader, this needs to be a part of your structure. Okay, let's see here. So we don't have anything to do right now. Again, won't be doing anything with my position. I'm still long on XBTUSD. Did not add at the daily baseline, but that would have been a valid option, but I did not. I know a lot of people did. In fact, I know a lot of people in the group didn't take the continuation long, which was okay. A lot of people did, and just took the baseline scoop, which is fine. You can't predict the baseline scoop. We had no idea. You never know when you enter into a position whether or not price is going to move up or move down. You just know that on average, your strategy is right more often than it is wrong, and your risk management is so good that is how we profit off the market. Aiming for that 1 to 2% a day. Now, on average, we average about 0.6 to 1.2% a day, but that's absolutely fine. So let's go ahead and look at lower time frames and see if we can get any setup. I highly doubt it, especially on the higher ones, but there's a potential that we might get something. Nothing on the 12-hour chart, no signal on the 8-hour chart. Going to the 6-hour, there's also no signal. Going down to the 4-hour chart, we just see consolidation there below the 4-hour baseline. Going to the 3-hour chart, we also are getting no signal to take action. And going to the 1-hour chart, we are coming up upon a potential signal. So what we're really looking for here is for a convincing close above the hourly baseline, as well as Wada Atar to bring in some volume to begin confirming these trades. Just a second. Okay, so let's go down to the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart actually signaled a long on this candle right here. Just as you didn't get one here. WADA does not confirm here. Just as you do here, but looks like this 30-minute trade is a losing trade, but that's all right. You set yourself up to take the opportunity and just looking for this break above this consolidation period. Obviously, here we have price making this movement to the downside, putting in a very long price tail on high volume, and then putting in another long price tail on high volume as well. This is typically areas where you are looking for a reversal. Now, again, you guys know how we feel about patterns, but if we go ahead and take the baseline off here for a second, one thing that we could potentially see emerging is, especially if we form a lower low, is going to be an inverted head and shoulders. As you can see, we have this level of resistance right here. Now, do we use the level of resistance for the breakout trade? No, we use our baseline for the breakout trade, which is going to be right here because it is fluid and moves with us, unlike a static support and resistance level. That's not to say that support and resistance levels cannot be methodologically traded. Again, we have a premium webinar on exactly how to identify, draw, and trade support and resistance. But just an interesting aspect to note in the market. If we look at overall market structure, let's actually take volume off. And what do we see here? We actually see a beautiful classic example of a stop run. All right, so let's turn on magnet mode and we can see that the low that was generated off of the dump last night was $83.35.56 on the Bitstamp chart. Price moved up to the 30-minute baseline, rejected after a little bit of consolidation, moved to the downside, made a high price tail right here, and grabbed all the liquidity, took out all the stops for anybody that entered here, anybody that entered anywhere in this range, and would have set their stop below this low. So liquidity has been grabbed to the downside, which makes, let's see here, which makes this area, the area between 8406 and 8479, a bullish order block. All right, so this is now a bull block. All right, sorry. We haven't talked about order blocks for a while, price action trading, but this area is now a bull block. Also called the demand zone, also called the liquidity zone, also called a breaker. It's not a breaker yet. It's actually just a bullish order block, right? It's a bullish order block. Now, what do you do with bullish order blocks? Anytime price retreats back into the bullish order block, you enter into a trade to the upside and you look for longs from that zone, just as you would be buying a pullback right now. Now, where is your stop loss? Generally at the first low below. So your stop loss would generally be right here in this example, or you can tighten that up as you see fit. But again, generally the rule of thumb is that you want to use the first low beyond your block, or you can utilize ATR, of course. Now, one thing to keep in mind is, what do bullish order blocks turn into? They turn into bearish breakers. How does it turn into a bearish breaker? Well, first off, your long trade is likely to be invalidated. And then when price convincingly closes below your bullish order block, which was the level of initiation for anybody that bought long before the stop run, right? So individuals buy long, and then they dump the market to grab liquidity and grab more orders. And then the movement to the upside is when the other traders also enter long as well. So that's where bulls strongly entered into the market. And that is where the individuals that caused the stop run and grab liquidity in the first place are going to be defending their position. That is the logic. That is the structure behind a bullish order block. That is the logic behind a bullish order block. So basically, you would just be buying. You would have limit buys spaced within this range. 50, 30, 20 is the way that I like to do it. 50% of your position at the top, 30% in the middle, 20% at the bottom is the typical way to trade a bullish block. Now, and then your target system is up to your own advances. This is not PTP methodology. This is price action trading. So when you're doing price action trading, often you are targeting previous highs. Often you are targeting previous resistance. Perhaps you're utilizing ATR, or you're utilizing an indicator-based method for you to take your exits. So you're using an exit indicator, especially if you're looking to catch a strong bullish trend, or you're using average true range, or you're using risk-to-reward ratios. This is kind of a personal choice when you're trading price action. It is very subjective. Truth Watcher, thank you so much for the subscription over there on YouTube, my good friend. Thank you, Vitam. Highly appreciated. Okay, so nothing. So that is an intraday setup that I just wanted to go over with you guys. Now let's go back up to the higher time frames. And let's talk about where we are, and let's talk about structure here for a little bit. So we're going to diverge a little bit from PTP and talk about price action. All right, so if we look at these white rays right here, okay, these two white rays, these two white lines on my chart, these represent the previous order block that was the current order block of resistance. So if we go back here in time, if we go back here and see where these order blocks were generated, right here. What is an order block? The order block is the last bullish candle in an uptrend before a shift in market structure. As we can see here, so the white lines are denoting the true candle body of the last up candle in this bullish rally before a shift in market structure. A shift in market structure obviously denoting lower highs and lower lows, as opposed to higher highs and higher lows, which is a bullish trend. Lower lows and lower highs obviously indicating a bearish trend. So an order block is an area that that is the last up candle in a bullish trend, or the last down candle in a bearish trend. So what do these areas typically respond with? This is a bearish order block. Typically, they act as strong levels of resistance. As we can see, if we do scroll over in time, we can see that it did act as resistance. And I want to talk about exactly how it acted as resistance. So what happened? So after the initial test of the upper boundary of the bearish order block, what happened to price? price rejected, and we put in a massive long price tail, a 20% drop to the downside, almost into our initial demand zone right here, which was the zone of the initial breakout right here, right? The zone of the initial breakout, where again I did have orders set to buy because those were construent to our baselines on higher time frames, our Ichimoku levels on higher time frames. If we go back to that point in time. Tutor Dino, thanks for the subscription on YouTube, my good friend. Welcome to the community. And then what happened? We put in a lower high back into our order block and then pulled back to the daily baseline and then went on another bullish expansion, right? We had more bullish expansion to the upside. Okay. So what happened this time? Now let's look at these two cyan lines as opposed to the two white lines. All right. Let's go back and look and see the order block that we are measuring. Okay. This order block right here, the last up candle before a shift in market structure to the downside. So we go back to current time. So the exact same thing that we're looking at here. And what have we seen happen? Price made a high, tested the upper boundary of that area, had a significant pullback, right? A significant pullback, not as large of a massive dump candle, but this is a significant movement. Even put in a stop run to grab liquidity above, pulled back to the daily baseline. And I want to talk about this example as well. Closed that daily candle, even after that big dump, closed significantly above the daily baseline. Okay. And similarly on this candle, after the initial test of the upper boundary of our resistance order block, pulled back and closed significantly above our daily baseline. Similarly over here, after that first movement to the downside, after the initial test of the upper bound of resistance, we have a pullback. We have a second test, a little bit of consolidation, i.e. a pullback to the daily baseline, and then expansion. So what do we see over here? We have our first test of the upper boundary of the next order block, a significant move to the downside where we wick below the daily baseline but close above it, a second test forming a lower high, and then a pullback to the daily baseline. Over here, we had 3 days of consolidation down to the baseline, so that is what I'm expecting to see here. I'm expecting to see consolidation, the baseline being respected, and then more bullish expansion. Why? Because the market is bullish. The trend is bullish. I will not be betting against the trend ending, exhausting, fleeting, China dumping, Trump making a tweet about Bitcoin. None of that. The trend is bullish. That's all I care about. I only care about current price because current price is telling you what the market is doing and how the market is responding to such events such as fundamentals, speculation, technical analysis, all these other things. All that stuff is helpful. What I'm doing right now actually is kind of helpful, but it doesn't really have any bearing on how I trade because what I expect and what I am looking for and what I would predict has really no bearing on how I trade. I trade systematically, methodically, and that sometimes incorporates having to block lots of bots that like to come onto my YouTube channel. All right. They're out in force today, guys. This is day 3. This must be it. These bots must be what took down Google's servers yesterday worldwide. So anyways, that is what, based on price action, I would expect to see. But that, again, has no bearing on how I would actually trade this. Again, I am in a long position that I entered upon yesterday, and in drawdown doesn't make me uncomfortable. I might be exiting my position later tonight at a loss. Absolutely fine. I've been crushing it for the last few months, so it's okay to take one L. I'm talking out loud. You typically do talk out loud when you open your mouth. Let's see here. Love you, brother. Okay, so nothing to do right now on any time frame that I went through. 15-minute time. Let's actually go down to the 1 minute. Let's go see if the scalpers had any love. And we'll go to the 55 exponential moving average, actually. See if the scalpers had any love. And on the minute chart, yeah, we get good longs here. Take the long here. You would have caught all this movement on the 1 minute chart for the scalpers. 1, 2, yep, Minx is telling you to go long. You wait for the close above, and you take. And that's a good little scalp there. Just similarly, we signaled a short here. We're not trading against the trend, but that's okay. Catching lots of good longs here on the 1 minute. So still good volatility. Let's go to the daily and actually see what current volatility is like. So we will look at Quadriga right now. And ATR percentage is 5.73. So above 5% volatility, very good for intraday trading. Still not what we do at Kraken Cryptocurrency, at least not what I do personally. Again, train people how to do it, but it's not what I'm currently doing. I'm not actively day trading. I'm just positional trading as I always do. So, yeah, nothing to do right now, but good volatility still for intraday scalping. And again, congratulations to anybody who took the buy at the daily baseline. And until we close below the daily baseline, guys, there's no shorts to be taken. None of this stuff we short. We did take this short. Ask anybody in the group. We did take this counter trend short. Okay, that is true. And there are situations where we will do those things with a little discretion. But that has nothing to do with the base PTP strategy. Okay, let's go over and take a look at Ethereum. All right. And let's zoom out a little bit and take a gander at Ethereum as well. So Ethereum, let's actually go over here and look at this level right here. Now, this is not perfect, but the argument one could make is that this is your order block right here. That's actually incorrect because we need to be measuring from the bottom of the candle. These things do matter. Let's go look at current time right now. All right. So very similarly, actually, I would say not similarly, but this red box indicates our last level of resistance. We convincingly closed above it, making it a breaker, meaning all pullbacks into this zone are to be bought. And had you been doing that, you would be doing quite well. Do you really need that? No, because guess what you have there? You've got a daily baseline. So you know exactly what level is going to be your baseline for trading. Now, is our daily baseline as exponentially pointed up as it was during this portion of this bullish trend? No. Could this be the early signs of distribution and price could be getting ready to enter into a more pronounced pullback or a more bearish trend? Absolutely could matter. Marlon Jones, Bulls on the block. Thank you so much for the $2 donation, my good friend. He says, please look at the chat. Does PTP require taking TP3? So no, there are several different options for how we take profit in PTP. So, PTP is the structure of your trading system, and you are allowed to incorporate the elements that you find most conducive to your personal trading habits. What we do at Kraken Cryptocurrency is teach you what those habits should be, and then wind you up and give you all the rules that you need and all the tools that you need, and then having those two things in conjunction, you can incorporate elements in your structure that you can like. So we always want a predetermined level at which we take half of our position off the table and make our stop or make our trade a no-loss trade. TP2 and TP3 are optional. Yes, you can utilize the Quadriga ATR system. You can also utilize an exit indicator, which a lot of people do, which is what I did for a long time. Currently, I do Quadriga. But that might change in the future. Every single thing that I do is subject to change. Generally not on a whim, but after lots and lots of backtesting, because it's not about my opinion, it's about what works best in the market. I currently use the best strategy and structure and indicators that I have tested, but I am always testing and tweaking and trying new things out. And if I find something that even gives me a slight edge, I will use that. So again, we teach you how to test. We're going to continue to teach individuals how to test. So the more that we move forward, the more individuals will know. And if you want to backtest different take profit strategies and you find those to work best for you in your backtesting and your forward testing, absolutely use those. Andy, who thank you so much for the follow over there on DLive, my good friend. And Floyd, bro fist to you as well, brother. Matt the Ghost, thank you so much for the subscription on YouTube, my brother. Oh, so what you're saying is, okay. So let me more specifically address your question now with a little bit more context. The take profit 3 hits and the market is going gangbusters. Do I sell that remaining 20%? I do not, because I always use a trailing take profit if I'm using 3 commas. right? And the way that you can do that on BitMEX as well is instead of setting a limit order for BitMEX or ByBit or whatever other exchange you're on, is instead of setting a limit order for your third take profit, you just set an alert. And when that alert goes off, you just log into your account and set a trailing stop. And we went over exactly what value to set that trailing stop on the Ask Me Anything VIP session last night. Let's see here. So, okay, let's bring back price action here. And as we can see, price did wick up briefly into our next order block. But if I'm being honest with you, I don't really like this order block. I don't really view this as a significant trend. This is more just like a pullback in a bearish trend, this movement right here, because that is the last up candle. You can see the whole body of that up candle is the width and distance of these two horizontal lines. And if we use an indicator like VPVR, right? If we use an indicator like VPVR, let's actually pare this down more significantly. Okay. So if we use an indicator like VPVR, we can actually see what is interesting, though, is that we are at the upper boundary of the value area, right? Now, obviously, we could look at more of the market, and this is one of the reasons why VPVR can be highly subjective. But generally, the rules for using a volume profile is you want to look at the trend, right? So you only want to look at one aspect of the market cycle, so either a down move or an up move. So again, this can also be a kind of a conjecture, because do we measure the beginning of the downtrend from here or from here? I would say from here, right? So what we can do instead is we go to indicators and we'll take a fixed range of the beginning of the downtrend to here to get a volume profile. And then what we can do is we can double click on that style right here. Actually, sorry, inputs. And let's go to like 200 for our row size. Get a little bit more specific. Okay, great. Yeah, so what is interesting is that this is really the upper boundary of all the volumes. So you can just see the amount of accumulation that has taken place, the amount of volume that has been traded at a horizontal price level in this zone down here at the bottom of the market, right? As opposed to this little level of consolidation right here, which is basically kind of like individuals thought we were at a port of safe harbor on the way down. I remember I was actively trading. I mean, I've been actively trading. If you go way farther back to the side of the chart, to the left of the chart here. But at this point in time, everybody was like, oh, okay, good, we've bottomed. And then here, oh, okay, we've bottomed. And then okay, we've so that was just an interesting time to be alive, to be quite honest with you. But we are at the upper boundary of the VPVR, so I would suspect that a significant breakout is not likely to happen on the first pass through, is what speculation would tell me. That a pullback would be nice and healthy, get a little consolidation, run up for another test of resistance, reject, consolidate, run up for another test of resistance, and potentially break it on the third or fourth pass through, because that would be significant, right? We're breaking out of the accumulation zone, and if you're looking at something like a Wyckoff accumulation distribution cycle, you typically are going to jump the bridge, jump the gap toward the end, which I don't really think we're at jump the gap. Potentially, I've seen a lot of different Wyckoff accumulation distribution charts. Also, people saying we didn't have a spring. Research your Wyckoff more. You don't always have to have a spring. And in fact, commonly in cryptocurrency, you will not have a spring. So, I'm trying to figure out exactly where I was going with that. Yeah, this is kind of how all speculation goes when you're doing this kind of technical analysis. We're in wishes and fishes land, guys, and we don't normally do that. It's normally, it only takes me 5 seconds to look at a chart and realize if there's a trade there, because it's the way my indicators tell me what to do. But again, I have deep, extensive history of trading price action, of utilizing this information to actually generate trades off of, and it is helpful sometimes, even when you're trading PTP, to just have a good idea of where you're approaching the market fundamentally, right? So there's that. So we are at the upper boundary of the VPVR, which is what does that mean, right? Because it's just a VPVR, so they're just numbers, they're just levels on a chart. That is indicating that we're at the top of the we're at the top of the range where volume became very concentrated, right? So to break into a low volume area is going to require some significant capital. But does that mean that price is going to reject? No. Price could, by all rights, absolutely just go 180, not 180, 90 degrees, absolutely parabolic, and continue on in the direction. In fact, honestly, if you're a trend following trader like myself looking at this chart, that is more likely than a bearish move because price is bullish. There is nothing bearish about price. We have a nice expansion here. We have a secondary movement up. We don't have a significant increase in volume at the top to denote that this would be the end of a trend. Typically, as long as we have put in large volume, as we can see, we put in large volume down here to end a trend and begin a new trend, right? A bullish trend. Typically, you're going to need a large amount of volume at the top to end that. Now, you can make the argument that that is this, and we shall see. But again, we're going to know when it happens because we're going to break the daily baseline, and then we're going to have an indication from our system to take the trade to the downside. And if and when that happens, we'll take a short. But as right now, there's no shorting to be taken on Ethereum USD. In fact, again, this is an area where on this pullback to the daily baseline, this is where I get excited to buy. So holding my long position open until told to do otherwise. All right, so we can go, let's go ahead and look at lower time frames as well. Let's go to the 12-hour chart. Let's see here, nothing to do on the 12-hour. Going to the 8-hour chart, nothing to do on the 8-hour. 8-hour, if you were counter trend trading, did signal a short here. Again, that's not a trade that we would have taken. 6-hour signaled a short here as well. Yeah, not a trade we would take because we do not trade against the daily time frame. 4-hour trade initiated a short here. Again, not a trade to take. 3-hour actually did not give you a short signal, but you could have taken it on this candle right here. Let's see here. The 1-hour gave you a long here, which got you stopped out here, and then on the same candle gave you a short. That was actually a pretty good counter trend trade. And the 30-minute again had let you catch all the short. Were you counter trend trading again? Not something that we do. In fact, so had you short here, had you take profit here, and then had you short again here, and had you take profit short here. I'm sure this is a winner, right? We probably take all our profit on that large volume candle, but it does tell you to exit the market here if you were not out already. Okay. Okay. So really nothing to do here on these charts. If you are in a long position, it's definitely not a moment to panic. You just need to wait until the correct time to trade and see if you need to make any adjustments or changes to your positions. And as always, scan the markets and look for new trades. Okay, so with that being said, did you guys know if you refresh BitMEX over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, you can actually break it? So your balance will not show up and your positions won't show up. Sometimes using the script that shows everything in USD. Just one moment. All right, sorry about that. Let's make sure my microphone is on. Yes, microphone is on. Okay, great. What was I talking about? I was talking about breaking BitMEX. Okay. Anywho. Okay, let's go take a look at some forex markets real quick. All right, here's the euro dollar on the daily, and big significant move to the upside. Will be signaling along on the close of this daily candle, but we are unable to take it. Why? Let's Rod Mort, thank you so much for the subscription over there on YouTube. My scripts. There we go. Of course, we're unable to take it because we are well above the qualifier. Let's go down to lower time frames and see where we could have gotten into the euro dollar. Right here on this candle, 12-hour candle would have captured us all of this trade, and the 8-hour candle would have captured all of this trade here as signaled along to go long on Minx on the 8-hour chart. I'm sure the other time frames would have probably gotten us in even more handsomely, but a little bit more risky as well. So here on this candle, we can take this on this candle right here and capture all that movement. So very good movement coming in from the euro dollar. Not good for the Americans. Let's look at the dollar yen, and the dollar yen is dumping. So what I want to take a look at real quick is the USD CNH. All right. Okay. And yeah, even the USD Chinese yuan is having a little bit of a pullback to the daily baseline here. Interesting. We did a lot of analysis yesterday on the USD to Chinese yuan and the meanings for that, and obviously the implications for cryptocurrency. So make sure you guys go check out yesterday's video, not the whole video if you want, but at least the first half hour or so where I do talk about this. All right, let's go look at the pound dollar. Sorry, let's go back to that Chinese dollar yen. And yeah, on the close of this candle would have been in continuation short yesterday, and currently in profit on that trade. GBP USD, you will actually be getting an exit signal if you had entered into a continuation short on this trade, which is good. You don't have to wait for your stop loss to get hit on your pound dollar trade. Aussie dollar signaled along on the close of yesterday's candle, as we talked about. Actually, I had a couple people message me this morning and say they took that Aussie dollar trade that I called last night and doing quite well because price has moved up since the close of that daily candle. You were currently up 37.7 pips. That's not a bad trade. Dollar CAD. Let's see here. Dollar CAD is not going to be signaling a short at this point in time. Dollar Swissy did signal a short on yesterday's candle. We called that one yesterday as well, the dollar Swissy, and up about 81 pips. Dixie shedding some weight today? Yeah, for sure. Let's look at the euro yen. Again, gaining in value, obviously, because the euro to the dollar is gaining in value and the dollar to the yen is dropping in value. So that makes a lot of sense. We talked about the pound dollar, or excuse me, the euro pound. This was, a great trade. Minx caught this trade right here, as you guys can see, and actually gave us a continuation long yesterday. This was also one we called yesterday, the euro pound, excuse me. And again, even if you would have taken the initial signal, you have a profit opportunity here of 258 pips. Again, the Mexican peso was also called. That was 5,000 pips, I do believe. A little bit different to the dollar peso, of course, all right? 36.3 pips up currently today just from the continuation long yesterday. Let's look at the Kiwi dollar. Kiwi dollar is actually going to be potentially signaling along on the close of this daily, but we need to have a pullback if we're allowed to take the trade because we are above our qualifying line. Canadian dollar, nothing to do. And again, USDC, the dollar won, nothing to do. Pound CAD, nothing to do. And gold, again, did signal along on yesterday's candle, but we were above our qualifier line. But gold continues to skyrocket, right? Gold up another 1.51% today, just today. So if you had thrown discretion to the wind a little bit and took that gold trade, you would be up handsomely. Looking at palladium, doing nothing. Obviously, palladium, we would have had a long trade right here on precious metals. Let's go take a look and see if we would have hit take profit one. Yes, we would have. We would have hit take profit one on the palladium trade, and nothing to do right now. Looking at silver, silver is going to be calling along on today's candle. Let's look and see if we qualify. We don't, so let's see if we can get a pullback to take that silver trade. But overall, things look pretty good. Things look pretty healthy. A lot of volatility over in the Forex markets. And This is something that some of my students who have come over from Forex said, "Hey, there's not a lot of volatility in Forex. That's why we want to trade crypto." And again, I would argue, yes, of course, there's always going to be more volatility in cryptocurrency, but Forex is getting more attractive lately. Getting more attractive. That's why we will be returning to trade not in exclusion of cryptocurrency, but in addition to cryptocurrency when I'm done with PTP coursework. Kraysuk says, "What does discretion/discrete trade mean here?" So discretion means that you are applying optional parameters to a trade that you would typically have absolutely mechanical. So I would say that 90% of everything that we do is absolutely mechanical, but there are several aspects of discretion that we can apply. So discretionary position sizing, for example. So say we have other indicators on our chart or other factors that can be true or false. So it's not like, well, I kind of feel this way today. So no, they have to be rules-based discretion, right? So either these factors are true, and if we are applying discretion to our trade, discretionary position sizing is obviously something that is very popular that we do practice. So for example, we might have extra indicators on our chart, and if say we have 4 indicators, or an indicator can do 4 things, and if all 4 of those are firing bullish, we are going to take a full risk position size. If only 3 of them, we're going to reduce our position size by a quarter. If only 2 of them, we reduce our position size by a half. So discretionary position sizing is also very important. But typically, as far as whether to enter or exit a trade, that is not discretionary. That is rules based. Thank you, Jay Fizzle, for the $2, my good man. He says, "Love all your hard work. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for watching, bro." All right. Spartacus 2020. Hey, what's going on, brother? Love your show. He says, "Rhodium, please." Okay, yeah, let's go take a look at Rhodium. That's ZAR, USD ZAR. No, that's the South African Rand, isn't it? Shoot. Been a while. Rhodium. Give me the ticker symbol, bro. I don't think I've ever traded Rhodium on Awanda. Yeah, XRHO. Yeah, which is this. XRHO. Yeah, is physical rhodium. So we will take a look at we'll take a look at physical rhodium. It's on the LSE. Let's see here. So physical rhodium, we would have gotten a trade right here to go long. Would have taken profit here, 3.51%. But I'm sure. Let's look at Quadriga ATR. Yeah. We hit all 3 of our profit targets and get out well before that exit. That's just letting us know that to exit if we had not already. We get to take another trade here on this candle, and we're able to capture this. We're able to re-enter here and capture this. So really killing it on Rhodium. We do get a signal to short here, but we definitely wouldn't take that. We actually would most likely go short on this candle right here, and we probably get our stop loss hit, and so we probably have to wait for a continuation. We actually didn't do too well shorting the market. No, because that just movement to the downside is just too powerful for XRHO. Anyways, yeah, let's go look at traditional markets, guys. Let's look at the SPY. Here's the SPX. We'll just look at the index, because I prefer looking at the index, to be quite honest with you, if I'm looking for a bead. Continuation short right here, and been short on the SPY ever since on the 22nd of May 2019. Absolutely nothing has changed. Let's go take a look at Quadriga and look for targets here. So continuation short right here. Sorry, let's plot this for shorts. Continuation short right here. Take profit 1 here. Take profit 2 here. Just got struck. And we have a third take profit down here around 2704, 2702. Let's just say 2700 to 2705. Let's see here. Putting in a decent little doji here down at the bottom. I wouldn't be surprised by a return within the ATR band to the baseline. But again, that's speculation, wishes and fishes. Price is bearish, man. We've already hit 2 of our 3 take profits on that short, but your stop loss will break even and wait for another trade. Let's go look at the NQ and the Dow. NASDAQ, same thing. Continuation short right here on the 28th of May after multiple shorts. Actually, this would be our 3rd short of the NQ. And right here. And let's see here. Take profit 1 hit. We just hit take profit 2 on our NASDAQ short. So nothing to do here. Nothing to do here. Just set your stop loss to break even and hold for that 3rd take profit. Let's look at the Dow. Short as well. Dow short right here. Continuation short. We hit take profit 1 here, take profit 2 here, and did we hit take profit 3? No, we still are holding on for take profit 3 on the Dow. Both of these, all 3 of our largest markets look absolutely terrible. Let's look at the Dixie. Not the Dixie, the dollar currency index, yeah. Not the British Dixie. Yeah. Yep, you're absolutely right, man. Dixie shedding some weight. Yep. Exit right here, and then a short signal on the Dixie itself, which typically does bode well for forex to dollar pairs, and poor for dollar to currency pairs. Man, I wonder, do you moderators have the ability to do the report? Or can you just hide and time out? Because I'm just reporting all these guys for pornography. I haven't even read one of their messages. I assume it's probably, but I figured YouTube would pay attention to that. You have these dirty pornographers running around. So do that. Report him for the prawn. Thank you, Ben, stepping in with the hammer there. And Vitam, you're doing an excellent job, man. Thank you so much, brother. Okay. All right. So having looked at those, let's also take a look at our long-term charts as well. So let's look at total crypto market cap. Oh, but you know what? It's 104. Yeah. Hey, Ben, do you want to either, I can see your DMs up here, so either just let me know, or Scott, you guys let me know, yeah, what the best thing is to do, hide them or report them. Reporting hides them automatically, so I just thought it was quicker. But hey, guys, it's 104. Let me take a little bit of a sip from my mule cup. And then we'll go over open positions, and then we will also talk about we'll also look at the requests, guys. I know we got a lot to do. So break time, guys. Don't go anywhere. Again, if this is your first time to the channel, make sure to subscribe, give us a follow, give us a like, share this around wherever you happen to be watching us from. If you are a returning viewer, just know that we have got a lot of love for you guys. You guys are the absolute best community. It's amazing for us to be here every single day with you guys over and over again. Make sure you guys give us some love. Hit that thumbs up button and follow us around. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell people you don't even like. We got to get this information in front of people so they stop losing money. All right, I will be back in just a few seconds, guys. Enjoy these smooth, relaxing tunes of Ryan Little and West Coast. All right, guys. We are back. We are back, and I think... Yeah, okay. So it looks like... Somehow, let's try this real quick. Didn't. So it's possible that my camera will now start screwing up again. I noticed that yesterday after we came back from the break. Interesting. So something about switching to the BRB screen in Streamlabs and then back to the main screen does something to my camera. That's odd. Nothing changed. So we'll just onward, Christian soldiers, onward. All right, anyways, guys. Looking at total crypto market cap, exact same thing. Pull back to the daily baseline. This moves basically in synchronicity with Bitcoin, with few exceptions. Pull back to the daily baseline. Beautiful buy. Still, price looks bullish. One could argue about distribution, but again, wishes and fishes zone. Let's also take a look at our altcoin market cap. When we all get rich together, we should have cracking crypto meetups. I'll bring punch and pie. You know, we've actually talked about doing that, especially in the Chicago area. I think that would be really fun. Same thing with the altcoin market cap. Still looks quite healthy. Pull back to the daily baseline. Let's take a look at our longs to shorts ratio. Longs to shorts ratio is breaking below the daily baseline. And actually, we got our first initial short on the USD longs to shorts over here, which would be a bearish signal on the 28th. Let's overlay this with BTC USD price on Bitstamp. Into new left scale. Okay, great. And we'll also do regular. Okay. So current longs to shorts ratios is still 1.05, so still more longs than shorts. But take a gander here. Longs to shorts ratios went bearish on this candle close, and that would have allowed you to capture this movement to the downside, about 6.28 to the downside. And then this continuation short right here on the longs to shorts ratios would have you entering into a short on this current pullback. Again, we don't take shorts after when price is above the daily baseline, but this is just an interesting aspect to look at if you are a counter trend trader. As you can see here, when we get the initial long signal from the longs to shorts ratios, tells you to go long over here. Now, do you miss a good majority of the movement? Whereas Minx or any of our systems would have gotten you in not only here, but also here and here and here. Yes, but this is just something you can look at for indication, all right? Just as you get a long signal here on the longs to shorts ratios right here, and you're able to catch this movement to the upside where price did move up about 15%. So this is interesting to look at. Now, nothing that I'm going to take, again, I'm not going to look at sentiment and use that as a leading indicator to counter trend trade the market, but it is something that I do like to consider and just have an idea. Bring it to Dixie. And just have an idea of overall which way I think the market's moving. Looking at the Ethereum longs to shorts ratios, 5.28, so still heavily weighted to the long side. And as you can see, quite similarly as well, you do actually get a long signal down all the way here at the bottom on the longs to shorts ratio, as you can see, and taking price all the way to the upside. You would have caught a good portion of this this movement just by following the longs to shorts ratios. But again, it actually would have gotten you out of the bullish trend here because you can see that a significant amount of longs took profits, right? A lot of took profits, and then price just continued to go parabolic. And so a lot of those longs did kind of miss out. Let's just make it in Hawaii. Yes, if you fly us down there, brother. Love to, man. Let's go take a look at CME futures and how they are holding up intraday, obviously on a 10-minute delay. Again, less of a significant pullback on the BTC1, and I tend to like the BTC1 chart. I tend to think that it moves more fluidly and gives us a little bit more market direction in general than actual price. So let's see here. Let's go look at the lower time frames. Yeah, quite interesting. Yeah, but not as anywhere near as steep or significant as a pullback. And similarly on GBTC pullback to the daily baseline and holding it quite nicely. Bitcoin dominance continues to consolidate below the daily baseline. Again, generally good for altcoins. And let's look at Tether dominance, which is generally an idea of the entire market cycle. Tether dominance continues to consolidate near the bottom here. So nothing really indicative about those, to be quite honest. Nothing indicative about that, to be quite honest. But you can look at the Tether dominance back when the oh man, look at that. Anyways, so Tether dominance not trending, typically good for the market in general, because this is one of the best leading indicators for whether a lot of money is flowing out. Again, so total market cap looks healthy. Longs to shorts ratios actually looks a little unhealthy, is signaling a potential short. But we're going to wait for the actual price to confirm that before moving into a bearish mode on the market, which we'll easily do. Again, just because price is bullish now doesn't mean it won't be tomorrow. When price is bearish, we'll be short. And when price is bullish, we'll continue to be long. So there's no reason to be looking for shorts yet, but just kind of on the alert and look out for those as well. We'll see what price does over the next couple of days and really how price progresses over the week. Again, we are trend following traders, so we only look at current price and only current price to tell us what to do. And all this other stuff is just helpful. But again, something to counter that is BTC1 looks quite healthy. GBTC looks healthy as well, holding the daily pullback, or holding the pullback to the daily baseline. Don't have anything drastic yet, so nothing to do. Total market cap looks healthy. Altcoin market cap looks healthy. And Tether dominance does not look necessarily strong. And Bitcoin dominance also does not look really, really weak, all right, in comparison, right? We've had a significant pullback, but we've had altcoin surges to go along with that. Gui, what's going on, my good friend? Okay, so we did have a request for storage, so let's get into storage, BTC. Storage does not look good, my good friend. We are below the daily baseline. Volume is quite low. We are consolidating and actually moving down below. Now, this could be a stop run. Price did wick down below and looking like it's going to close back at our level of wicking support, at our price tail support. But as of right now, there's really no trade to be taken. Let's go down to lower time frames again. We can't really be looking for longs. Because we're not going to counter trend trade the daily time frame. But yeah, there's really nothing here, to be quite honest with you. Yeah, there's really nothing here as far as storage goes. We just need more bullish action. It's going to take quite a while, I think, for this to signal along. All right. So take a look at positions here in a little bit. But first, let's go look at our bubbles. T-Fuel up 34.1%, Matic up 11%, Zen up 12%, ARK up 3.8%, Strat up 10%, ETP up 6.5%, Theta up, BNB up. And it's actually, this is a pretty good, healthy day, man. This is a pretty good, healthy day. We've got, an assortment of ups and downs. Nice Christmas tree day. A lot of coins bouncing back after the dip. And this is just really good and healthy to see. I work really well for drinking Moscow mules all day. Hey, you gotta stay sharp, man. You gotta stay sharp and you gotta stay calm. Floydy, can I have a gander at ONT USDT, please, my good man? Of course. All right, ONT USDT on the daily is closing below the daily baseline and printing bearish volume on Wadatar. Not signaling a short yet on Minx, but definitely if you were in any long trade, definitely the time you want to be out. If you are entering if you were in a long position, if you were holding on to any of your position. We did get our original short signal on this candle. We weren't able to take it. We were able to take the long on ONT USDT. This is actually a trade we took on this continuation long right here and price moving up. I know we took ONT. I'm actually not sure because this would have been back during time transformation as primary indicator. So I'd have to pull up time transformation and see exactly where I took it, but I do know that we took an ONT USDT trade. No problem, Donnie Don. Thank you, brother. Ryan KJ, thanks so much for the subscription over there on YouTube. Sorry I missed you a few minutes ago. Frederick, we did look at total market cap. Can we take a look at the OBV? We can. That's not really an indicator that I typically use, but we can look at it. Historical volatility. Are you talking about like BVol 24 hour, or are you talking about the historical volatility indicator? Because I have no experience in that, and you'd have to tell me what it is to pull it up. So while you're giving me that answer, I wanted to start looking at positions. which all right, so we're going to slide positions here. Okay, so looking at all my open positions, current P&L of plus 19.72%. Most of the trades that I put on last night are in drawdown. Here. So yeah, entered into a good basket of altcoin trades last night. Again, most of those are in drawdown as well as the rest of the market. And that's totally fine. That's totally comfortable. The way that we position size is appropriate. And you're going to, when you're a trend following trader, there are going to be times. When you have drawdown. And that's something to be completely comfortable with. Getting back over to the YouTube. Hey, no problem, Floydie. Do BSV USD. All right, let's check her out. All right, so BSV USD actually was a long that was signaled on this candle right here on the 26th. That was a really good trade. Price ended up running up over 100%. Got our TPL on that right here, and we might be signaling along on the close of this daily candle, but nothing right now. I don't see a reentry for BSV USD at this point in time. We can go down to lower time frames. We did get a continuation long on the 12-hour on this candle. We got an 8-hour continuation long on this candle. We got a 6-hour continuation long on this candle. 4-hour on this one, but we would not have taken that one. Again, not on this one. This is we did get a long signal on the 3-hour right here, and I want to see if we got that initial signal on the 4-hour. Yeah, here, but that was actually a loss. So yeah, and kind of getting chewed up by the lower time frames here too. 15-minute did get us in this trade. Probably started the 30-minute. Yep, 30-minute got us in that big nice pump as well. Looking from a kind of a price action, obviously a big volatile movement to the upside and consolidation is typically quite bullish. Typically means that we're going to have more expansion to the upside. Philip, man, thank you so much for the €2, my good brother. He says, great show, Jay. Thank you so much, man. Texas Blues, let's check out BAT. Midwest attempts. No, I would do nothing with any trades right now. Ooh, look at BAT having a nice 30-minute expansion, man. Let's go down to the daily and check that out. Good 30-minute trade, man. Nothing to do on the higher time frames as well. We've been in a bearish trend for quite a while, so we don't get overly excited, but there has been some sideways consolidation here. So let's see if we actually get the indications that we're going to be entering into a bullish trend, because this was a nice performer that we traded BAT multiple times on the way to the upside. Would have shorted if we could, but we don't trade on Finex, so there's no shorting of altcoins typically for us unless they're on BitMEX or ByBit. And there's just not a trend here yet, man. We do need to let this establish a little bit. It does take price a little bit before we can enter into trend. As you can see, when a bearish cycle ends, it typically takes us a little bit until we get strong indications to enter into a good trend to the upside. So good looking chart, it's not a good looking chart, but it has potential, but there's just nothing to do at this point in time now. Raven Bitcoin. Raven Bitcoin, again, was along on this candle right here and just moving up quite nicely. Up about 24% from the entry. This isn't a trade that I personally took. I know some guys in the group did take this trade. I did not personally take this one. But yeah, this is a good looking chart. There's nothing to do right now. There's no entry. We're not getting a continuation entry because we haven't gotten an initial take profit, or we haven't gotten a secondary take profit or an exit signal yet from our system. And if we look at Quadriga, which for some reason There we go. For some reason that like has been jumping away. And we are, yeah, we can't, there's nothing to do right here. But great trade, man. Great trade. So we definitely want to look for, if we're looking for coins to enter, this is a coin to hold open, but nothing that we want to take action on right now. Sell me your basic attention token? No. MCO USD. As in here. So let's look at the dollar value of crypto.com. And this has been very, very, very bullish. Very bullish. This is largely due to the growth of Bitcoin. Let's see here. Is there anything to do now? Nothing to do now except for the potential buy at the daily baseline, which actually would not have gotten hit. Initial long signal right here. We would have been able to take it on this candle. And price did end up moving up about 50% to the upside. So good trade. Told to exit on this candle right here. If you had any position left, which was a damn good trade, even if you just used that, again, we would have taken 50% off the table here at about 10%. Let's see here. Yeah, nothing to do so far. Waiting for a continuation signal, which we will most likely get in maybe 2 days if this is a pullback, and then we have continued expansion on crypto.com. JB says, MCO, no volume though. How you trade any position on it? What do you mean there's no volume? There's lots of volume on this chart. And there's typically volume on all the candles where we would have entered. Here. 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 And what did I say here? Yep. Definitely volume there. These guys are getting crazy with spam. Awesome. Please do Bitcoin dominance. Yep. I did. I already did all these total 2, longs and shorts, GBTC, BTC1, Tether dominance, Bitcoin dominance, traditional markets, Forex. But we'll look at Bitcoin dominance, man. EST Network, thank you so much over there for the follow on Twitch. Or, sorry, not Twitch. DLive, my good friend. My bad. What's the verdict? Is the bull market finally over? No, it is not. No, it is not. Bitcoin dominance, again, my take on this is that this is consolidation. Although Bitcoin dominance is bearish by note of being below the daily baseline, which is, in my estimation, good for altcoins. Now, are we in a strong bearish trend? No, we are not, i.e. price is moving in consolidation. So I do see further altcoin expansion and further Bitcoin expansion as long as the trend remains. Again, but what we don't do here is we don't do price predictions. So this stuff is helpful to look at because, again, we have extenuating situations. Total market cap looks good. Altcoin market cap looks good. Longs to shorts ratios is slightly bearish, as is Bitcoin dominance. But Tether dominance is weak, right? And Tether dominance is one of the leading indicators to predict a reversal. Traditional markets look weak, which traditionally has been lately looking good for cryptocurrency. Increased volatility in the Forex markets. So all of this looks pretty good. And on top of that, GBTC and Bitcoin futures on CME all look good. So it's kind of a mixed bag, and this is why we don't trade off of charts such as these. We're not predictors, we're trend followers. So we wait, a trend has been established, we're in a bullish trend. We take trades in the direction of the dominant trend, and we don't trade reversals. Simon Rasmussen says, I got a question for you. I hope you can help answering it. Why is it that after every YouTube video I watch, it automatically plays modern investors crypto videos? Doesn't matter which crypto YouTube I watch. It's all based on your watch list, man. It's YouTube's algorithm. So let's go look at... Here we go. Okay, so... let's go look. So if I took a summary of my open positions, I would say that my currently best performing open positions are KMD, Data, Neo, and Cardano. And my worst performing open positions are Fetch, RCN, and Ardor, and ICX. Everything else is really within that really small capital loss zone, all right? So potentially, what might tonight be? Tonight might be a whole lot of purging. Frederick Eklund, we think, yes, I feel exactly the same way you do. I don't use that time frame or that EMA, but that's absolutely fine. I see if that's a baseline that works really well for you on that time frame, that's all that matters. Yes, I only take trades. I only update my positions once a day. I don't react to them. I don't subjectively react to the market. I wait for closes to tell me exactly what to do because I am a technical indicators based mechanical trader. So that's just how I do things. Exactly. In fact, I won't be making a decision until tonight. So if I were to close out, so just to give you guys an idea about how risk management works and about how statistics works, my current closed results for June so far are 42.48% just P&L. Still got to do the ROC capital. But in my current open positions, 19.66%. And that is with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21 losing positions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 winning positions. So all currently open positions, I have twice as many losing positions currently in drawdown than I have winning positions. Yet, if I were to close everything out right now, I would be up 60% in the first, 3 days of June? First 3 days of June. Actually, I can't give you an actual number on return on actual equity. I'm going to assume 12 to 15% right off the top of my head, looking at the position size weights right now. But it could be higher than that. It could be a little bit lower than that. I actually have to do the calculations. That takes a while. Generally takes me about half hour every night to actually, especially with 21 trades to close out. So again, absolutely not distressed at all. There's never, ever any reason to be distressed when you're trading, whether you have a bad day, which today qualifies as a bad day because I have twice as many losing trades than winning trades. But it's not really a bad day because overall, capital is doing quite well. Trades are doing quite well. So, but, could today be a day where we end up, just closing out a lot of positions and having to wait for the market to reestablish a trend? Yeah, absolutely. And if that trend happens to be to the bearish side and we do break down, great. We'll take trades in that way and we'll pull capital off of Binance, focus more heavily on BitMEX and ByBit. And that's how we do things. You got to be fluid, move around. All right. Seems like I lost a little bit of the YouTube chat there for a little bit. Awesome, Mocha Fish. Good to hear, brother. Okay. Oh, you know what we don't have going on? Jay Kreutzer, man, what's going on, brother? Happy Bloody Monday to you as well. Longs picking up. Longs picking up. Short stalling out. Weo, hey, sorry I missed you, but thanks so much for the follow over there on Twitch, my good friend. There we go. There's Raven. Yeah, altcoins popping in the last hour. You look at the last month, things look really, really good. Yep, got a lot of longs taken out on that movement to the downside. And not a significant change in open interest. So here's the initial drop. Clears out a lot of longs. About 17.4 million longs, is that right? Yeah, 17.4 million longs. A little bit more. And then a stop loss hunt. Clears out about another million or so. A little bit more than a million. About 4 or 5 million, sorry. And there we go. Jay Kreutzer says, signed up for 3 commas yesterday. Game changer. No more sleepless nights. No, I feel you, man. PTP and 3 commas on Binance is a strategy for success. Macy J says, hey, I want to start Bitcoin. Any tips? Watch us every day. I mean, just general things. Make sure that you understand how blockchains work. Make sure you understand how to keep your coins secure. Make sure you understand what to buy and what not to buy. Just do some research. Spend a couple weeks researching what this field is all about. because it is a ecosystem, and it is a unique ecosystem. ADA USDT, again, got a continuation long on the close of yesterday's candle. Price is now pulling back. Just looking to see if this was part of the basket we put on last night, and it wasn't. We didn't take ADA USDT last night because we were already in an ADA M19 and ADA BTC long position. So yeah, although it's valid to take the trade on of its own, but for some reason this didn't come on. I didn't include this on my scan last night. But anyways, yeah, just a pullback back down to the daily baseline, and we've already retraced more than 50% of that length so far. It looks pretty good actually. You're not even getting an exit signal from your continuation long. We'll see how the daily closes. This doesn't look bad. Triple test of resistance. Pullback, holding good. I like it. Are all exchanges updating prices in real time? Yes. And to what extent do you spot price differences? I mean, every day, but they're not very significant. Arbitrage is extremely efficient in cryptocurrency. If you take a look at the Bitwise report on how most volume in cryptocurrency is fake, except for the actual exchanges, then they talk about how efficient the arbitraging market is, which is one of the signs of an extremely healthy and well-functioning ecosystem or trading environment. So when there are price differences, arbitrage bots step in and arbitrage individuals step in and fill that gap very quickly. Jake D, thank you so much for the subscription over there on YouTube. XRP looking pretty bullish right now. Big buys on XBT, Tron, ADA, Litecoin, ZERP, all across the board. When will altcoin season start? It's been here for a while, brother. Nice. See if we can't get our podcasts over here. You know, Facebook, what, the name of their coin is going to be Global Coin? Like, why did nobody think of that beforehand? You'd think that Global Coin would be, you know, probably one of the first things that was done when they started doing, you know, Spank Coin and for God's sakes, they've even done Bitcoin. Yeah, I like this website, bro. Thank you, Matt. It's cryptobubbles.net. That's pretty cool. You can sort by sector. Reward system. Identity. Name coin. Healthcare. Pot coins and healthcare. Artificial intelligence. Numenaire and P-Chain. Fetch AI I feel should be in there. Scams. Bytecoin. Ooh. Possible scams. Nothing. Memes. Monacoin, Verge, and Dogecoin. Ah, good stuff, man. Vault is going to be there. Populous, Nexo, Bloom, ETHLend, and Link.io. Yeah, this is pretty neat. All right, so we want to be looking at our micro cap coins. That's going to qualify. Oh, we can even do all this. Oh, okay. Hell yeah. All right. Yeah, this might be a very nice scanner. Weekends with Reese says, I took the continuation on Litecoin USD. I'm at a slight loss right now, but I should wait until tonight to see if we close below the daily baseline, correct? Yes, yeah, you should always wait until your window of opportunity to trade. You're going to have more data then. You don't have enough data right now to make an educated decision. Thank you, man. Charlie M says, could we look at the Ethereum Classic chart? Yeah, of course. AEBTC. And an ICO is born. Yeah, Ethereum Bitcoin. This is, let me see if it's still open. No, Ethereum Bitcoin was a trade we took. Averaged out 9.67% on that position. Entered right here. You can see I even still have the break-even alert. I'll delete right now. Yep, entered long on this candle. Price is up about 18.18% with our average selling. Came out to about 10%, 9.67% profit. Good trade. Good trade. And nothing to do right now. Obviously, if you're still in the position or utilizing your trailing take profit, then you're doing nothing. You're just letting that ride. Hey, what's going on, Crypto Bubbles? Medical marijuana should be covered by insurance. Get garbage weed for free. Yeah, Coin Farm Online's another good one. Yeah, we used to, if you go back to some of our older streams, we used to look at Coin Farm Online every day. Coin Farm Online, BitGer, all that stuff. Yeah, this actually looks really good, man, because you have a bullish order block right here, and you can see how any pullbacks to that zone are to be bought throughout this entire cycle right here. And then even here, it works out pretty well for you. You catch a little bit of a trade. And when you close convincingly underneath the order block, you backtest that level as resistance, drop, backtest it again, drop, and now you're breaking out. You're breaking above, which makes this a bullish breaker now, or a bullish initiation block, or some people call it a mitigation block. It's whatever. Different terms for different things. Everybody wants to be fancy. So this would be a pullback zone to buy. Yeah, this looks good, man. This looks good. High price tail on this candle. Not really high volume to end a trend, but a pullback wouldn't surprise me, but neither would continuation. Grabbing liquidity above this local high right here. So consolidation in this zone, maybe even a dip below it. A little bit of consolidation here wouldn't surprise me. But this is a good looking chart. Do I hodl any coins long term? No. Look at the Kiwi Yuan. Yeah, sure. We're going to be getting a long signal on the close of today's candle. Last one we got was right here. Price ran up 432. It's a little different over here when we're doing the Kiwi 2 on. But yeah, this is a long signal right here. Now, technically, we wouldn't take this because we're above our qualifying band. But if we get a little bit of a pullback in the next day or two, we could take this trade. Now, I haven't back tested Minx on the Kiwi Yuan. Doesn't really seem to do very well. Does well there. Doesn't do well there. Doesn't do well there. Does really well here, but what I always look for is where does it not perform well? Here. Here. Here and here. Well, you wouldn't have taken this one anyways. Here it performs okay. Here it does not. And we'll see how it performs here. This looks pretty good. But we have to think about why is the Kiwi now buying us more Chinese yuan? All right. If the dollar yuan is dropping, and China, the danger is that China is going to devalue their own currency to get around the exports, to reduce the cost of exports due to the trade war with the United States. You gotta be a little, well, you gotta be a little wary of that. But that's the volatility that we want. That's the volatility that we want to trade. So let's see if we can get a pullback in the next day or two to be able to take that trade. I'm not really convinced looking at this how well Minx would perform on the dollar yuan. I'd have to back test it. Yeah, I mean, it seems good. It just, this might not be one of the charts that where I would use Minx. This might be where I use Defiance. It all depends on back testing. Get volume off there. That's just distraction. I mean, it looks okay. It catches the big moves, but it doesn't do the best filtering here in the chop, which is what it's supposed to do in the first place. So I back test every chart that I want to trade on. So take what I said with a grain of salt. You want the CFD? Vitam? Song's weird. Called Something About Spring. GLD, I had to look it up real quick. Long signal right here. Yeah, man. The long signal here. Continuation long somewhere right here. Continuation long right here. Didn't come up on Minx for some reason, but that is one. Long here, that's a loss because you get knocked into that gap down. Same here, kind of chopped up here too. And yeah, again, this is another one where I'm not 100% impressed with Minx's performance. Does really good over here, really, really good. So what I need to do is, again, this is something that I determined in my back testing for the chart that I want to trade. How do I knock down the sensitivity? All right. Because I do not like this right here. This is okay. And these shorts are great. Catches all that. I just don't really like this chop right here. So maybe I need to use a different baseline on GLD. Something that I just have to do a lot of testing with. Don't really like this either. But these are good. These are really good. That's good. That's not. Oh, okay. We would have not taken that trade. We wouldn't have taken that trade. We would have taken this one, which is good because price does run up 1%. So, actually, maybe if I look at this with a little bit clearer eyes and actually see how, the other filters of PTP would have kept me out. Yeah, we would have been out of that. We wouldn't have taken that. We wouldn't have taken that. Yeah, because there's no volume. Okay, good. We would have taken this one. That's a loss. Maybe. Depends on where our PTP is. That's a loss, yeah. We don't take... That's a loss. And that's a loss. That's 3 losses. There's nothing I can do to mitigate that. This one too. So I just need to backtest this chart a little bit more. But just based off the information that I have, A, I wouldn't do anything. Because I don't catch something that's gone parabolic. But long entry right here. And maybe you give it all back because we take small capital losses when we do take L's. So, statistically, you can give it all back. But I want our hit rate to be at least 60% and up. I don't want it to be lower than 50. Check out light crude. Doing pretty good lately. There we go. Zill just completely reversed. Hit take profit 1. Go, baby, go. Two, 1, 2, 7. So all I'm doing is moving my stop loss to break even. Now I've taken 50% of my profit off the table. Boom. Good trade. All right. So light crude, long right here. Long right here, long right here, long right here. This one's a loss. Look, that's a very small loss, close to close. Long right here. Long right here is most likely an L. Yep, that's an L. And then we get to short on this candle right here. And actually, Minx called a continuation short on this candle close yesterday's close. So we'd be short on light crude right now. So pretty good. I'd say pretty dang good. Let's go find some chop. An L, slight capital loss. So is that one. That's a good one. Gives us back to it right there. That's a bad. But this is good. 1, 2. Oh, we wouldn't have taken these anyways. There's no volume. That's a good one. That's a good one. We wouldn't take that one. We'd take that one. We wouldn't take that trade. We wouldn't take that trade. We'd take that one. Okay, good. We wouldn't take this one. We wouldn't take this one. Yeah, so, now that if all I gotta do is look down at volume and actually see how good this does perform. Yeah, this does really good on crude. Because, again, I tested Minx on just about every asset. Didn't do GLD commods, but GLD is one of the few charts that I've come across just now. That's why I kind of was like, doesn't look like it does that well on this one. Because just about every chart I throw this on, I'm amazed. $50 sats, man. Whatever, bro. Take your sarcastic, lagging indicators, trend followers don't make money stuff somewhere else, man. I've been trading for 10 years, man, and I will tell you that if you don't backtest and if you don't think that backtesting is valid, you know nothing about trading. So anyways, guys, it's been a long day. A little cleaner on the crude. Yeah, it was quite smooth on the crude. And again, one thing that we need to look at is one of our qualifiers down here. Like, we need our filter to approve. We've got 3 filters, right? So maybe I looked at GLD in haste, and if I looked at it, I just need to do a little bit more analysis. I've never actually looked at Minx on GLD, looking at gold commods. So a little bit more analysis, see how I can tweak it and fine tune it a little bit. Maybe it's possible that when we go to the commodities market, that we just need to make a little bit of a structural change. Macy J, thanks so much for the sub on YouTube. All right, guys, it's been a long day. I got a lot to do today. I got rough drafts to write, final drafts to write. I got a little bit of programming to do, a little bit of indicators to work on. Tired of looking at these bot messages telling me to look at sexy girls. Anyways, guys, so let's slide on over here. Slide into the DMs. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining me for another exciting episode of Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. Of course, I've been your host, Justin Wise, lead analyst and senior mentor at CrackingCryptocurrency.com. I want to thank each and every one of you for spending your afternoon and early evening with me, or your morning, or your 2 o'clock in the morning, wherever you guys happen to be tuning in from across the world, whether you are watching on YouTube, Twitch, DLive, or Facebook. Highly appreciated. You guys are absolutely amazing. Show only happens because of you guys. So, if you are new to the channel and you like the content, make sure to show us some love wherever you happen to be by clicking the thumbs up button, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. Make sure to give us a follow or a subscription, regardless of what platform you're on, and share it to your friends, because I do believe that this information is vitally important. If you would like to join our community, if you guys would like to join our group and get access to our proprietary indicators, our private mentoring, our VIP sessions, let's see here, our premium setups and signals, our resources, our educational material, our Pathways to Profit course, and everything else, as well as our private community. You guys can, of course, check the link at the top of the screen, premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com. And regardless of what you do, make sure to join our free trading community in Discord, discord.crackingcryptocurrency.com. If you have any questions, comments, sarcastic remarks, opinions, and or death threats, please leave them in the comments section down below. I will attempt to respond within 48 hours. If I don't, well, stuff happens. All right, guys, make sure that you trade safely. Above all, trade safely. Don't panic. Keep strong and hodl on, okay? I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.